Hello, fourth graders. Boy, this is weird, right? Never in my life would I ever thought that I'd be teaching remotely like this by video instead of having you right there in front of me. Today is lesson one, which you might have already done this yesterday. Lesson one, math. I didn't really intend on starting this until next week, or I'm sorry, not next, but today. So, if you had some trouble yesterday, I'm sorry. But you can go back and look at this. So, we're going to start here on lesson one, though. Length is the measurement of a line between 2 points. You have a millimeter, centimeter, meter, and kilometer are units that are part of a metric system of measure for length. So a millimeter, as you can see, is about the thickness of 6 sheets of paper or a dime. On this right here, a millimeter is that little tiny mark in between there. A centimeter is about the length of a ladybug. And you can see here the length is from 0 to 1. Now, the rulers that I sent home with you all look like this. And so what's going to be confusing to you is you're going to see this and you're going to think, oh, hey, this right here is 10 centimeters. But actually, this is just measured in millimeters. So what I told my fifth graders when we were using this, I said, well, if you just take the zeros off of this, that's a centimeter. This is 2 centimeters, 3. Yeah, I don't know why they did it like this on these rulers. It's from your math book, But I'm going to be using this ruler here for you. Just know that on yours, just take that zero off, and it will tell you how many centimeters that is. If you get over here and it asks for millimeters, well, then you can say this is 120 millimeters. Because this number is the millimeters, because there's 120 of these little tiny marks here between here and here. Just keep that in mind, okay? A meter is about the height of a chair, and a kilometer is about 6 city blocks. Okay, so let's dive in. Doug is growing carrots in his garden. He pulled out a carrot for lunch. Measure the carrot to the nearest centimeter. So to the nearest centimeter, if we're using this right here, again, you're going to want to line the zero up with the ends. In your ruler, if you notice right here, you have this little space right here. Well, you don't use that. You use the zero. So make sure you go to the zero on that, okay? Or you're going to be off on all these. The carrot is closer to the 12 centimeter mark than the 11. So the carrot is almost 12 centimeters long. Okay. We turn it over here. Before measuring the desk, or before measuring the length of an object, always estimate the length to decide which unit is best to use. So, you look at that, you look at the length of your desk. So we're going to choose the best estimate for the length of the student's desk. And keep in mind that 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. So which one of these do you feel like is going to be the best estimate? 5 centimeters, which again, this right here is 5 centimeters. 5 millimeters, again, this is 5 millimeters right here. 50 centimeters, okay, well 50, we're going to have like two of these here side by side, or 50 millimeters. Again, 50 millimeters is right here. So yeah, hopefully you guys saw that 50 centimeters would be your best bet for that right there. So a desk has to be long enough to work on, so centimeters would be the best estimate to use here other than millimeters. So since 5, it says all this right here, the answer is, I don't know why they make you write on that, choice C. Okay, let's go ahead and do what we normally do. Let's go ahead and dive into independent practice, because this one's a pretty easy little lesson that we have here. Estimate each length, then measure each to the nearest centimeter and the millimeter. So we're going to estimate would measuring this soft shell, or not soft, I guess it's a crab. With measuring this crab here, would you be better off if you used millimeters or centimeters? I would say, using your thing here, because we're going to go ahead and measure it, be best to use centimeters because you have so many of them. And it's closest to what? It's closest to, looks like 6 centimeters. Remember, take the zero off. It's closest to 6 centimeters. And it says and millimeter. If we measure to the nearest millimeter, if we count in between here, looks like there's 60 millimeters. So we take 1, 2, probably take 2 off. So we got 58 millimeters if we did it to the nearest. This one right here, I would probably use millimeters for this one just because it's so small. But if we measured it, so to the nearest, looks like it's closest to the 20 centimeter line. I'm sorry, 2 centimeters. And then millimeter wise, as you see, it's pretty close to, this is to the nearest millimeter. So we have, here's 15, 16, 17. So I'd say probably 17 millimeters. Remember, the little tiny marks are millimeters. These big ones are centimeters. So this is 1 centimeter, 2, 3 centimeters, 4. Measuring this watch face, I would probably use centimeters as my nearest. So as you can see right here, it's pretty close centimeters wise to 4 centimeters. Remember, for centimeters, you take the 0 off. You can't even see that, can you? There you go. And then millimeter wise, looks to me like it's pretty close to 39 millimeters. 39 millimeters. And just let me use this ruler here just to show you what I mean by, the fact that you just take the 0 off. Again, it's a confusing ruler. I don't know why the company did that. The eraser here, if we measure to the nearest centimeter, you have 6 centimeters. Get the light out of there. We have 6 centimeters. See how it's 6? Well, on that one, it's 860. That's why we just take the 0 off. 6 centimeters. And then millimeters, we would say that it's pretty close to, again, this would be 60 millimeters. This would be 55, 56, 50. It looks like 57 millimeters. Choose the best estimate for each length. The height of a cornstalk, would 2 millimeters be a good choice? Again, let's look at this right here. 2 millimeters. Okay, right here, 2 millimeters, little small. Cross it out. 2 centimeters. Remember, take the 0 off. So would this? No, that's too small too, right? 2 meters. 2 meter sticks. That would be pretty close. 2 kilometers. That would be a tall cornstalk. So obviously, our answer is going to be 2 meters. The length of an airport runway. Again, I don't think I want my plane landing on 5 millimeters right here. No, I wouldn't want that either. So that one's a bad choice. 50 centimeters. Well, this is 30 right here. I don't believe I want 2 of these for my plane to land on 2 of these. So that's not going to be good. 5 meter sticks, which is probably the length of about half of our classroom. I don't want them landing on that either, but a 5 kilometer, which is 3.1 miles, I think that one would be probably the best for our plane to land on. We have some word problems here. A giraffe at the zoo is 5 meters tall. Name something else is about 5 meters tall. So again, this is just something you have to think about that is pretty close to the height of a giraffe. I guess you could say T-Rex, maybe. I don't know, right? An old T-Rex. How about basketball goal? Basketball goals are probably a little smaller, but basketball goal, I don't know. It's not going to be 5 meters. There's no way anybody can dunk it if it's 5 meters, but you're just thinking of something tall, guys. Okay, that's all it's asking for. I have to drink my Diet Mountain Dew. You guys know me. Is the distance from Boston, Massachusetts to Phoenix, Arizona 4,000 centimeters or 4,000 kilometers? Well, you're going to look at which one's bigger. A kilometer is bigger than a centimeter, so I'm hoping you would see that it would take 4,000. It'd only take about about 50 of these things right here. So it'd be great if you can drive from Boston to Phoenix and you only had to drive like 30 seconds. But I'm pretty sure you're going to be saying kilometers is a bigger measurement. Okay, so like I said, that's a pretty easy assignment. Again, use your ruler that I gave to you guys. Just remember to take the 0 off to measure this in centimeters. Leave the 0 on to measure in millimeters. Okay, that can be a little confusing, but you can keep those rulers at home. I don't need those, so those are yours to keep. Okay, so I have homework to do also here from the school corporation that I got to do. So Thank you. And depending on how many views I have on this, is if I'm going to put any of these videos on there tomorrow. Take care. Stay safe.